Hey everyone, Madrybread here. Pokemon Platinum with only one Mr. Mime was a fun and well-paced solo run. Let's follow that up with a fun tag team run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only Nidorans? Alright, you know the drill with this from the Pokemon Red and Fire Red runs with these two, right? Male Nidoran on the left, female Nidoran on the right. The male one has slightly more speed and attack, the female one has more defense and health, but it's not really a huge deal overall. By level up, they learn a decent bit of different moves, but nothing that's too consequential, beyond mostly just that the female one learns Bite at level 30. That's decent for hitting ghosts and stuff early on, but really overall, not a huge difference. Speaking of not a huge difference, by TM, I think they learn literally the exact same move list. Again, it still has some really weird stuff, just like in Gen 1. You can see Thunder and Blizzard on there, but not Fire Blast, weirdly enough. Just kind of feels like it should have both if it has one, you know? But it doesn't. So overall, there's not really too big of a difference between these two, other than some minor move differences through level up, and a little bit of a stats difference. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through the challenge, so this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm pretty sure that I could beat the Pokemon champion, but I'm skeptical about beating Red. Even with two Pokemon, Nidoran might just be too weak. I know we get two of them, but I have no clue how we're going to survive the Espeon at the end. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Nidorans. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits. No items in battle. Only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. Also, my throat is like 99% okay now. But now I have a cut in my mouth because I accidentally bit my cheek while I was chewing food earlier, so it's all bad now, and hopefully it won't affect my voiceover. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with a female Nidoran so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to start with the female Nidoran because it learns Bite, and I figure that I want a Dark move as soon as possible to make the Rival and the Ghost Gym easier. Because of the weird way that IVs work in Gen 2, female Pokemon always have less attack IVs than male ones, so this could be a minor problem, but I think it'll be okay overall. I name her Luray, just like last time. Oh, and before anyone jumps on me, I'm not saying Bite is physical. Bite's not physical in this game. I mean, just having lower attack in general could be a problem early, but it probably won't be. Look, it'll be fine. Alright, so early game travel is a little bit slow at first because we're a really weak early game Pokemon. Our base stats are probably lower than some of what we're fighting, but it's overall not too bad once we've leveled up a little bit. In early game, even just having 1 or 2 levels on an opponent is a pretty big deal. Naturally, I rushed for Bellsprout Tower right away. We're poison types, so the Vine Whips really don't do much to us. It's not exactly an easy area because there are some trainers with other Pokemon, but at least I could get some levels to prep for the Flying Gym. So the Flying Gym actually did take a few tries because we're poison type and Pidgey loves spamming Mud Slap. If we miss too much early on, then our accuracy just gets demolished, but on this run, we only got hit by it once, and Pidgeot was just really weak using Gust, so we took it out no problem. Alright, we're on the road again. I made sure to use the TM for Mud Slap right away because I really doubt that we'll be level 30 by the time we get to our rival, and he's got a Ghastly that we can't hit yet. At level 30, we get Bite, and that'll do a great job, but until then, we can just use Mud Slap. The Hiker shouldn't be too much of a problem thanks to Mud Slap, but I could see the Bug Gym being kind of difficult. We resist Bug, so I think Bugsy won't use Fury Cutter, but it can still use Quick Attack, so I figure that's what it'll do. Scyther's a pretty high attack Pokemon, so between the possibility of that and the possibility of Leer, it could take a few tries. Plus, part Flying type, so I can't use Mud Slap. Will we lose? Only one way to find out. Well, the first try was a loss, but it's very much worth showing because I think we don't have to grind for this. Obviously, Metapod and Kakuna were both easy, it's Scyther that's the real threat. So it was using Fury Cutter, much to my surprise. The first 3 do almost nothing, but the 4th one hit pretty hard, and the 5th one finishes us off. Okay, well, if we got 1 miss, then I think we could win. Okay, so I tried the fight 4 more times, and despite him hitting me 5 times with Fury Cutter each time, and it being a 90 accuracy move, he just never missed. On the 4th try though, it didn't matter because we crit Scratch twice. It didn't really do much damage, but we only needed it to do a little bit to win, so the second crit probably wasn't even required. Feels good to get a win. The rival right after was so easy that we got crit 3 times in a row and still won the fight. 2 Zubat bites and a Croconaw water gun. That was insane. Alright, so we're back on the road again and there's some moves to get. First, I changed my system clock to Sunday so that we can get the TM for return. And by that I mean I changed the system clock to Sunday, didn't have enough friendship, got a haircut, still didn't have enough friendship, then had to go fight some trainers so that I could finally get it. Anyway, considering how weak our moves are, I'd be insane not to grab return. We won't be using it for probably quite a while though, since it'll be better with the male Nidoran, but only once he has lots of friendship. Speaking of, we can catch our male Nidoran now. There's no natures or anything to look for, so I just catch the first one I see. Now I'm kinda tempted to try and get Blizzard or Thunder from the game corner while I'm here, but honestly, I'd probably go insane playing the slots for that long, so I think I'll just wait until I can afford it later. I'm gonna try and level up the new Nidoran for a little bit and then try the normal gym. We have double kick, so I figure it won't be too hard. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I also got the TM for Headbutt from the forest to give to Lurray so that she'd have a solid normal move as well. It's not as strong as Return, but flinches are nice, and it's better than Scratch, so I'm gonna take what I can get. So when we got to the normal gym, we got super lucky against Clefairy with us critting the first double kick and it missing the first double slap. But Clefairy was never really the threat in the first place. Miltank is the scary one. Right away, I have Lurray spam Mud Slap until her accuracy is down 6 stages, then I switch into Gargano to spam Leer. We only got 3 in before we fainted, but it did the trick, as Lurray was able to easily finish it off with double kick right after. I figured the Leers were necessary since it was gonna spam Milk Drink if we tried to whittle her down the normal way. Alright, that means the Ghost Gym is coming up, so I'm trying to get some last minute levels on Lurray. Once she's level 30, she'll learn Bite, and I figure that that'll borderline sweep the Ghost Gym. I'm sure Mud Slap could do some decent damage to the Ghastlies since they're pretty frail, but Bite is just a lot stronger, even with it using special attack instead of regular attack in this game. Oh yeah, this is the part where I do the sponsorship thing, but I haven't had a sponsorship offer in a while now that wasn't either A, total trash, or B, some kind of like AI service that I absolutely don't want to advertise. So if you want to support the show, then you can check out Patreon. There's nothing special over there, no rewards or anything, it's just a way of supporting the show if you'd like to, totally optional. Let's see how the Ghost Gym goes. Well, the first try started pretty well, with Bite one-shotting Ghastly and Haunter being pretty easy as well, but as soon as Gengar put us to sleep, Dream Eater made incredibly short work of us. That's alright, this is Gen 2. Between the built-in mischance for the AI status affliction moves and Hypnosis having a terrible base accuracy of 55, I can probably just win this in under 5 tries. Okay, so I lost this fight another 12 times due to the worst Hypnosis luck in the universe, so I got a few levels so that I can one-shot the first Haunter, taking out a lot of the RNG. I still lost a few more times due to Hypnosis from Gengar, but we finally got a win after a few. It wasn't a hard fight, Morty just got really, really lucky. Okay, that means we're on the road again, and we have a few gyms coming up. The Fighting Gym, Steel Gym, and Ice Gym. Now the Ice Gym is always easy, and I think us resisting fighting types will make the Fighting Gym somewhat simple. The Steel Gym will be a nightmare. Maybe Double Kick will do well on the Magnemites, since they have low health and are Steel type, but Steelix has way too much defense for Double Kick to do much. I almost wonder if Blizzard would work better. I could have to build up some money off trainers in the Rocket Hideout just to convert coins into Blizzard. I'll try the Fighting and Steel Gyms first though, just to see how it goes. Well, Gargano is a low enough level that he basically does nothing, but Lurray does pretty well. Problem is, we got unlucky with Primeape hitting 5 times with Furious Swipe, so when we were against Poliwrath, he was able to finish us off with a couple of Surfs when we were incredibly close to making him faint. The worst part is, because of his Mind Reader move, we can't really just wait for Hypnosis to miss. I'm just gonna have to level up Gargano a little bit and then try again. Okay, so I ended up getting a solid 10 levels on Gargano, so he's finally not useless, and it still took quite a few tries to be able to win this. I eventually figured out that if I can get one Leer in on Poliwrath and Lurray doesn't get hit by Hypnosis, then I can win. But it still took quite a few tries before that actually happened. Sometimes Poliwrath uses Surf, and that's not so bad, but sometimes he uses Mind Reader and Hypnosis, and then the fight is pretty much out the window. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, but I'm sure the Steel Gym is going to be a lot worse. So on the first try at the Steel Gym, we got pretty lucky with a critical double kick taking out Magnemite early, but the second one hardly survived and paralyzed us. Thanks to that, we got hit pretty hard with a Thunderbolt before taking it out. Problem is, after that is Steelix, who instantly crits us with an Iron Tail to make us faint. As I sent in Gargano though, we just got one shot with another Iron Tail that didn't crit. Yeah, we're probably not winning this fight for a long time. That means I'm doing the Rocket Hideout early. We really desperately need the levels. I've got an experience share in Gargano to help him catch up while we level Lorraine more, since we're for sure gonna need her to be stronger as well. I feel like Mudslap might be what saves us in the Steelix fight, but it's hard to say for sure. Maybe Double Kick will do better if I can get a few Leers in with Gargano first. Then again, it would be easier to do the Leers if I started with Mudslap. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to experiment a lot with this fight to figure out how I'm gonna win before I can win. Plus, we'll need some awesome luck with Iron Tail missing. We're really frail. We might not win this one for a long time. Ice Gym should be easy though, so let's do that while we're in town. Yeah, Ice Gym, as expected, very easy. We're not great with Double Kick, but his team isn't great in general, so it doesn't take much to win. I don't really get why Icy Wind is a signature move. It's really not that strong. We're totally not ready for the Steel Gym, though. I'll get a few more levels before I try again. I think I have a few trainers I haven't fought yet. Okay, next try at the Steel Gym. Both Megamites are one-shots with Double Kick, so now it's just Steelix. On this try, I decided I'd start with Gargano to use Leer, and we lucked out with her using Screech, so we got a second Leer in before getting one shot. I had Lorraine spam Mudslap, and although it wasn't doing much, it was doing a lot more than it would without the Leers. Thanks to the accuracy drops, Steelix ended up missing a lot, but as soon as his health dropped into red, Jasmine used a Hyper Potion. I ended up switching to Double Kick as soon as we finished off her accuracy, dealing about double the damage. We actually lucked out and won the fight on the very first attempt after our little bit of grinding. I know Iron Tail isn't the most accurate move in the first place, but it was still very lucky that it missed that much. That means we only have a few fights left before the Elite Four. We have a rival fight in the basement of Radio Tower, a little bit more travel, then the Dragon Gym that I predict will be pretty hard. I know that Thunder Wave has a chance of missing when the AI uses it in Gen 2, but we still need to get lucky enough for that to actually happen. I hope that I can get enough money for Blizzard before the gym. I figure that it might be a must-have. Let's see how the rival fight goes before I go worrying about that too much, though. Okay, so first is Golbat, and he used Confuse Ray, so I switched to Gargano. He doesn't seem to have full friendship because his return isn't really hitting that hard, so we lost about half of our health before Golbat went down. Magnemite was a one-shot with Double Kick, and third was Haunter, who was almost a one-shot with Bite, but then he finished himself off with Curse. Nice. Sneasel was a one-shot with Double Kick, of course, and last was Feraligatr, who wasn't exactly hitting very hard with Water Gun, so we took him out pretty fast. It was easier than I expected. I didn't think Golbat would be the hardest member of his team. That means we're traveling to the Dragon Gym. I figure this is going to be a really hard one. She's got some Dragonairs who love to paralyze us, and then she's got the always terrifying Kingdra. It's got Smokescreen to ruin our accuracy, Surf with the same type attack bonus, and she loves using Hyper Potions to keep it healthy. I could see it being a loss. I'm going to try and convert some of our money into coins to get Blizzard, but we'll see if we actually have enough by the time we get there. If we don't, then I'll try it without Blizzard and see what happens. Alright, now this Dragon Gym really surprised me. This is the first try, and not only did we hit every Blizzard, but they were one-shots on all of the Dragonairs. I kind of thought they might survive with a little bit of health. As Kingdra came out, I had Lorraine use Mud Slaps, but we went down really fast. The reason I was doing that, though, is so Gargano would last longer so I could use Horn Drill, and it worked, with the second one hitting for a one-shot. That's a first try of the Dragon Gym. Maybe I should use one of these one-shot moves more often in team runs. It's super useful having it as kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's not reliable, but if I only need to make one Pokemon faint with it, and the fight isn't too luck-based outside of that, then it's a really useful solution. Alright, time for the last rival fight. Sneasel's first, but it's basically useless, so we got hit by Screech and then one-shot it with Double Kick. I keep Gargano in to one-shot Kadabra with Return, but not until after he lets off a Future Sight. It's alright, that move kinda sucks, I'm not worried. As Golbat came out, I switched to Lorraine to remove the attack debuff from Screech, just to end up getting confused and hitting ourselves twice. That's when Future Sight shows up and fails. Maybe it's because I don't really use Future Sight very often, but I didn't even know that move could fail. We took out Golbat with Blizzard right after. Magneton was super simple to take out with a few double kicks, and next up was Haunter, who cursed as we were using Bite, so it went down in one turn. Last was Feraligatr, and started really rough with it critting a few slashes to take out Gargano, but thankfully, Luray got a flinch with Headbutt, letting us hit it again for the knockout. I think that flinch is all that saved us in that fight. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our team. I'm guessing it's from Luray having more stat experience, but she's pretty much just flat out better than Gargano at basically everything other than a very slight difference in attack stat. Obviously, both are still important since they have different moves, but I really do wish that Gargano had a bit more attack than this. It's fine though. I figure they're both gonna have to level up a lot more before we can really beat the Elite Four. Plus, I should probably use some power point-ups on Blizzard, since it's gonna be an absolute lifesaver in the Lance fight. I figure I can get some one-shots with it, and for as inaccurate as it is, it's still way more accurate than Horn Drill. Now it's time to go lose to the Psychic Trainer 1,000 times. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. This went exactly how I thought it would. We got confused right away and hit Blizzard for a one-shot. Then Jinx comes in and outspeeds both of our Pokemon to land one-shots as well. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. A Quick Claw would get me the first attack with enough tries, but without a crit, Return isn't getting a one-shot on them. I'm probably gonna have to level up until I'm faster than Jinx, and that's gonna take a long time. I'd use Rare Candies, but this game uses stat experience, and I know for sure that's not maxed out yet. Luray could probably get away with Rare Candies, but there's no way Gargano could, so I'm at least gonna grind Gargano up quite a bit. So I got Luray to level 52 and Gargano to level 55. Much to my surprise, we're already faster than Jinx, so we one-shot it with Return. That's awesome! The grinding really helped the friendship on Gargano. Right away, we crit Slowbro for great damage, but he raised his defense with Curse, so our next hit didn't take him out. He hit an absolutely massive Psychic on us before we finished him off. As the second Xatu came out, we just used Blizzard and ended up one-shotting it. Last was Executor, so I had Gargano hit Return before getting taken out by Psychic, then had Luray finish it off with a single Blizzard. If you want to know how little faith I had in winning this fight, I didn't even deposit my Flying HM Pokemon, because I figured I'd lose for sure. So I guess it's going into the Hall of Fame with us if we win. Oh, and I forgot to use the PowerPoint up. I should use that real quick. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. Ariados just used Double Team and Spiderweb, so we didn't take any damage before two-shotting it. And second was Venomoth, who just missed Supersonic, so we took it out quickly. I didn't have a great answer for Fortress, and Double Kick did almost nothing, so I went for Horn Drill a couple of times and quickly took it down. Why did it say it wasn't very effective? It's literally a one-shot move. Seems pretty effective to me. Muck went down in a few hits of Return after it tried Minimize and Sludge Bomb. It's kind of a hard-hitting move. I'm happy that we resist it. Last was Crobat, and it managed to take us to only 5 health before we took it out with a crit. We didn't even have to use Luray in that fight. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. This whole fight was really simple. Most of his team doesn't have a ton of defense, so I could just return my way through it either than using Double Kick on Onix. The Machamp at the end was able to finish off Gargano, but all it took was one Mud Slap to make him miss a ton of Rock Slides for a pretty easy first try. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. First is Umbreon, and we were dealing pretty decent damage with Double Kick. We took a Sand Attack, but our second Double Kick crit, so we took it down before we got hurt. Things quickly go downhill as Vileplume came out though, and survives Blizzard and paralyzes Luray. We then have a super long fight where she's constantly using Moonlight to stay healthy as we're failing to take her out with Blizzard over and over, to the point that we run out of power points. The only reason we took it down with decent health left is because of her hitting herself in confusion. Next was Gengar, and Luray's the only one who can hit it, so I had to keep switching out and switching back to ditch Curse whenever she uses it. I'm actually really surprised we managed to take it down. It's only because Gengar was using Lick and it hardly does anything. We feinted to Destiny Bond, but that didn't matter. Luray was basically doomed at that point anyway. Murkrow did a bit of damage with Feint Attack before going down, and last was Houndoom, but it's faster and Flamethrower did massive damage. We couldn't one-shot it with Return, so we went down on the next round. That was so close. If I just do a little bit better against Vileplume, then I know I could win this. A few tries later, and Vileplume fails his first Stun Spore, so I was able to have a stronger start. We still did get paralyzed shortly after, but this time, we had better Blizzard luck and took it out without getting hurt. Gengar also used Curse at the same time that we were hitting a bite, and that took it out incredibly fast, so we got to switch before Curse hurt, so the rest of the fight was all pretty simple. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes when you just don't miss 1 or 2 moves. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. First was Water Onix, and it was just using Rain Dance, so although we missed our first Horn Drill, the second one hit for the one-shot. Second was Dragonite, but Blizzard hit for a one-shot. That's a great start. Things don't go as well in the second Dragonite, as we get paralyzed early and ended up losing half of our health before we hit Blizzard to take it out. Next up is Aerodactyl, who also goes down to a Blizzard, but we go down to red health in the process. I switched to Gargano for Charizard and tried for a return, but it was obvious that I was gonna lose if we kept trading shots. So I switched to Horn Drill, and actually hit it to take it out with only 9 health left. Last was his final Dragonite, so I go for Horn Drill knowing it was my only chance, but we miss and got taken out. Lorray would have been able to win if she wasn't paralyzed, but that gave him the speed advantage to finish her off too. Hey, that was really close. If we could just hit the first 2 Dragonites with Blizzard first, then we wouldn't get paralyzed, and I bet we could win this pretty easily. I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, 6 tries later. This time Blizzard hit both of the first 2 Dragonites first, so they went down without paralyzing us. Aerodactyl even missed a Hyper Beam and went down in 1 Blizzard as well. That Blizzard is not always a one-shot on Aerodactyl, so we lucked out there. Charizard managed to hit 2 huge flamethrowers to take us to only 9 health before we finally hit a Horn Drill to take it out, and last was the final Dragonite. We ended up missing 2 Blizzards in a row, got crit by Outrage to go from full health to only 2, then we hit with our very last power point on Blizzard to get the one-shot, winning the fight. With that win, we go into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Gen 2 has all of Kanto in the post-game, including 8 gym battles and a secret final boss fight with Red. 7 of those 8 gyms are super easy since they're weaker than the Elite Four, so we're gonna have to skip ahead to the next real challenge, Blue. First though, I made sure to get both leftovers so that both of our Nidorans can heal over time. I figure that's a must-have if we're gonna stand a chance. Alright, well, first try started okay, with Pidgeot sometimes being pretty easy, but Alakazam right after outspeeds and one-shots the whole team. Alright, that's fine. I'll rare candy up a little bit until we're either faster or we survive. I figure being faster is gonna happen first. So at level 68, we still got one shot, but at level 70, we survive. Problem is, we're slightly too weak to one-shot him in return, so we still just go down. Okay, well, I bet in 3 more levels we could solve this. Okay, so at level 73, Pidgeot is much funnier, as it almost always uses Mirror Move, so as long as we use Return with Gargano, we take basically no damage. I guess Blue's Pokemon hate him and have no friendship stat. Anyway, Alakazam still outspeeds us, so things still go just as poorly. Sometimes he uses Reflect and Recover, so that becomes its own nightmare. If I send in Lorray, then sometimes I can finish it off, but we just go down to Water Onix right after because we're so hurt. I figure that we can be faster than him by level 80 though. Level 75 and things go the same way as before, but thanks to a lucky crit, we got a one-shot on Alakazam. Rhydon was a one-shot with Blizzard and Water Onix right after, finished off Gargano with Hyper Beam, but at least that meant that he had to recharge. Lorray ended up having a weirdly long fight with him because despite him using Rain Dance, Hydro Pump didn't do nearly as much damage as I was expecting. Between some great flinches and leftover keeping us healthy, we were able to take him down. But pretty much as soon as Arcanine came out, we went down to a couple flamethrowers. I'm surprised we even made it that far. So at level 78, we were still slower and things went the same way, but at level 80, we were finally faster and just one-shot Alakazam. Rhydon is of course still a one-shot with Blizzard, and this time Water Onix doesn't even hurt us, because we just hardly two-shot it with Return. Not only that, but because he made it rain, Arcanine wasn't using Flamethrower. He had to use Extreme Speed, doing much less damage. We took him out pretty fast. Last was Exeggutor, but all he got us with was Leech Seed, so we took him out pretty fast with a few hits of Return. That went great the moment Alakazam wasn't a problem anymore. Now that said, we're on our way to the red fight, and things are gonna be brutal. He only has one Pokemon that's super effective against us, but it's Espeon with Psychic. So I expect it to hit incredibly hard, and there's no way we're one-shotting it. Probably not even at level 100. I figure the winning move there might be to level until we're faster and then rely on Horn Drill, but I really don't like that answer since Horn Drill is probably also how I'm gonna have to beat Snorlax. I mean, it's either that or Mud Slap until it's useless, then we can have a never-ending fight and just hope we don't get paralyzed off Body Slam. We have rare candies, so we can get to level 100 if we keep losing, but I fully expect it to be possible that we don't win at level 100. We don't have awesome moves, but then again, neither do they, and they do have a bad habit of switching the weather a lot instead of fighting back, so that gives us a few free shots. Maybe it'll go better than I expect. Let's find out. Alright, well, on the first try, Pikachu took out about half our health with Thunder, we one-shot him with Return, then Espeon came out and outsped and one-shot our whole team. Alright, well, I kinda saw that coming. Let's keep getting levels and seeing if we can either survive this or when we become faster. Level 83! Nah, things go the exact same. Level 85! Well, we didn't take damage from Pikachu thanks to it using Charm and then missing Thunder, but it didn't matter, we still just got one-shot by Espeon. Level 88! Nope, still got outsped and one-shot by Espeon. Level 92 and we're finally faster than Pikachu, so I don't have to worry about Thunder anymore. Also, in a stunning change of pace, Luray can sometimes survive Psychic with 5 health. It's not even remotely enough to win, but hey, progress. Level 95, there's actually a change in the fight. Gargano is able to survive Psychic now, so we can hit a strong return. We still faint, but Luray is able to tank a hit and finish off Espeon. It doesn't matter much, because we still just go down to Snorlax right after, but this is progress. I'm starting to worry that we won't be faster than Espeon at level 100. Level 100! We are faster than Espeon, but we don't get a one-shot. Sometimes Espeon hits us with a strong Psychic, but on this try she used Reflect, so we two-shot her. We stand a chance here. Right away, we obviously weren't going to do anything to Snorlax with Reflect still up, so I used Horn Drill and instantly hit it for a one-hit KO. This is perfect. Next is Venusaur, and Return was doing basically nothing, probably because Reflect is still up, and it set up Sunny Day. I figure Solar Beam wouldn't do much, but Return wasn't doing much either, so I just went for Horn Drill just in case, and it hit! Problem is, it's Sunny and he's sending out Charizard next. We two-shot it with Return thanks to Reflect wearing off, but Flamethrower hit us really hard. Last is Blastoise, so I sent in Luray to start spamming Mud Slap, thinking that the winning move would be probably ruining its accuracy and then spamming Horn Drill. Thanks to his own weird move choice, though, he really wasn't doing much to Luray. We actually ended up getting all 6 Mud Slaps in, then just use Headbutt until it went down. That went so much better than I was expecting. Once again, Nidoran runs are really fun. I like tag team runs in general, and Nidoran is just such a perfect Pokemon for it. It's a shame you can't really catch him early on in any other Pokemon games, or, you know, I'd do it more, but that's alright. I'm sure there's plenty of other tag runs I can do. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, with Pokemon Emerald with one Ghastly. That one is probably gonna be pretty hard. Ghastly is really frail. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments in the challenge request section of my Discord channel and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Alright, outro time. I don't want to talk too much. You can probably tell a little bit from the voiceover. I'm not quite able to, like, I don't know, project my voice as loud and enunciate as well as I would like to, because I got this cut in my mouth, you know, like where I bit my cheek or whatever, and it's still healing up, and I've had a bunch of days now where it's like kind of swollen and it's almost closed, and then while I'm eating or while I'm talking or something, it'll get opened back up and hurt a bunch, and then it takes longer to heal. Makes voiceovers really hard to do, makes it hard to talk for long periods of time. So hopefully that'll be healed up really soon. I've been doing like saltwater rinses, both for my throat, but also it's good for my mouth. So I'm just trying to get that to heal up. And real soon, I should be able to stream a lot more, which I'm really excited for because, like, obviously I love streaming. I mostly stream on Twitch, linked in the description of all my videos if you want to go follow me over there. But once in a blue moon, I stream over on YouTube. I got so many plans of things to stream, trust me. Oh, so much I want to do, so many Let's Plays I want to plan out. Who knows, maybe even Pokemon Stadium 2 will happen sometime this year. I'm making no promises. I can promise that Pokemon Stadium 2 will be Let's Played at some point. Genuinely, I have no idea why so many people still bug me about that. Look, if I tell you it's gonna happen, it's going to happen. And if I tell you it's gonna happen when I have time, it's gonna happen when I have time. So, all of you asking for Pokemon Stadium 2, I know you already watched the whole Let's Play of Pokemon Stadium 1. You wouldn't be asking for Pokemon Stadium 2 if you didn't watch it. And I made it very clear in that Pokemon Stadium 2 is gonna happen. So it's gonna happen. Whatageek might not be there for it, because Pokemon Stadium 1 drove him completely insane, and I don't blame him. So I'll have him for other Let's Plays. I think he might come in for that one when we're doing mini games, but probably not for just the Pokemon, like, doing the actual stadiums. But yeah, otherwise, I am definitely doing Pokemon Stadium at some point. Just don't ask me when, because I don't have an answer. I won't have an answer. You can be listening to this in a year and I won't have an answer for you. Either it's out or it's not out. Just wait for it. Believe me, spamming me with messages asking for it doesn't make it happen sooner. It often makes it happen later because I feel less like doing it if everyone's pestering me about it. Let me do it when I got a chance, man. And all the other things you see up on the channel, it's because I get opportunities and I get time and schedules meet up, or it's something I can record on my own. Anyway, I'm really hoping that my voice will be fully healthy soon, and that my mouth will too. My throat is still just a little bit sore, but I'm finally on the tail end of whatever it is that I have. So I'm just very thankful I'm finally recovering. God, it's been a sore throat for almost a month now, but I really feel like I'm on the tail end of this thing. Anyway, I've got to get started on that Ghastly run. I've got to do the first 2 gyms of it today. I'm going to be creating the file and starting it up after this, so I'm probably going to spend the next half an hour loading over and over until I can get a nature that isn't horrible, because I think Ghastly is going to have a good nature if I stand any kind of a chance in that run. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.